Hi, this is Karen. Welcome to Angular April. I've been a web developer for about 20 years using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, MySQL, and this month my big goal is to learn Angular, not just a little bit, but in depth. And I'm going to take you along on my journey with me if you decide you want to come. My plan is to take the next 4 weeks, 30 days, and learn Angular 4, which just came out a few days ago. Angular 4s, we're not supposed to call it Angular 4 because it's the same as Angular 2 except a little bit different. Hopefully there's no breaking changes between the two. So if you're using Angular 2 or you're using Angular 4, this project should work for you either way. If you're using Angular 1, which they're calling Angular JS now, it won't work. So don't do that. But yeah, so we're going to do Angular. Angular version 4 is the most recent release. That's what we're going to be doing the video in. This is kind of an intermediate tutorial. If you're just barely getting started, like you're not sure what HTML means, this is not the right video for you. We're not going to be teaching HTML or CSS. I'm going to show you where to put your HTML and CSS. So you should already be familiar with those things. Angular is a JavaScript framework that helps you build your front end. And being a framework, a lot of things that you want to do with your website, they're already kind of baked into the framework. So your knowledge of JavaScript is not as important when you're getting started. We'll be going into some of the code in more detail. If you know JavaScript, that's good. If you know any other programming language, that's also good. We're going to be using TypeScript, which is a variation off of JavaScript. So you may still have some learning even if you know JavaScript already, but we should cover that, what you need to know in enough detail to get the project running. If you want to learn more about TypeScript, there are other tutorials out there. We're not going to go into a lot of depth like how to do loops and branching and the basic programming concepts. You'll have to get that somewhere else too. So definitely an intermediate level. Not too hard. Don't be afraid to try it. If you are familiar with those things, like I said, you should be able to come in and do this project just fine. So we're going to be here on this YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to it if you'd like to be notified when new videos go up. Should be having a web page sometime soon. There will be a link when I get that set up that actually has links to all the videos when they're done, so that you can go to the web page and find the videos too. And also, why am I doing this? Well, first of all, because I have been told many, many times that when you're learning, the best way to really learn something well is to try to teach it to somebody else. And so for me, that's what I'm getting. I'm trying to learn this, and I want to learn it good enough to be able to teach somebody else. So here I am. I'm going to try to teach Angular over the next month, and I'm planning to teach some things that I haven't quite figured out yet at this point. So hopefully we won't run into that roadblock toward the end where I don't know what I'm doing, but bear with me. If we get stuck there, it's just going to take a little bit longer to get the videos finished at the end. Another thing that I wanted to do was build some bigger projects for my portfolio. You know, I've done a lot of these coding challenges, and they're great. I love them. I don't always have ideas, and people can come up with these ideas and throw them out there. Build a web page for this, build a web page for that. What I really want to do, though, is build more than a web page. I want to actually have a large, complex, working website hosted somewhere online that somebody could actually go and see it work. So that's the big goal. And all four of these projects are intended to be that kind of a project when we're done. On the personal website, it's not just about a portfolio or a landing page. I also want to add a to-do list, an address book, a calendar. The business website, it's not just, hey, look at us, we're a business. It's also going to have a client list and an appointment scheduling, some things that maybe the back office people would want to use on the website. The online store should have a catalog and products, and you can put them in a cart and at least go through the motions of ordering them. We're not going to talk about actually taking money, so it's a fake site, but it's got a lot of the same things that you're going to want to put into a real site, and should be a good demonstration piece if you're looking for work. And finally, a community website where we're going to have friends, followers, some of the social things that you find on Facebook or Twitter, timelines, announcements, discussion forums. And we're going to use Angular to do this because Angular makes these kind of sites easier to build. If you just want to make a pretty site Angular is not your tool, shouldn't be your tool of choice. There's a lot of overhead, there's a lot of files and time spent loading, and that's really overkill if all you want to do is say, hey, we're here, and have a pretty picture on your website. But if you want your website to do something, then the whole framework, what Angular provides for you, is a lot of the common things that otherwise you'd have to figure out how to do and write all that code from scratch. And it would take you a long, long time to write all that code from scratch. Trust me, I've done it before. Um, but this way, and I want to tell you that because when we start doing this and you start putting these projects together, you're going to sit there for, oh, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 minutes sometimes, waiting for your program to recompile, to load up, and to find out if that last change worked. And it helps to have that perspective of this, even if it's 10 or 20 minutes, all of this work that's going on in the background that you didn't have to write the code for. You know, it could be 6 months of you writing code, or it could be 10 minutes of you watching Angular try to compile. And then again, it's a good time to get a cup of coffee. So I will see you on day 1, I hope. Thank you for watching this video, and please join me.